The Harley-Davidson Ultra Limited, a bike that costs as much as my car.
Harley-Davidson has about 1 million different models. Pretty much any configuration you can imagine, you can get it. This one here, the Limited, is quite possibly the one I would go for as an upgrade for my current Shadow. Has similar luggage, it's got the fairing. I can already tell it's a little more comfy as I, well, sit in traffic. Got a good sound to it. Just got to remember where all the controls are. It's, heel toe shifter, similar setup to my Shadow. Everything's in a slightly different place. This little windshield is throwing the wind right in my face, which isn't a bad thing since I have a full face helmet anyway, or the modular folded down. Close the shield and we're fine. Can open the visor and get a whole bunch of air. You can probably hear nothing but wind noise right now. A couple of swerves. Turns in pretty nicely, a little quicker than the Shadow even. I did not expect that because this has got to be a heavier bike. I haven't really gotten on it yet, but it's got all the torque you'd expect from a nice Harley V-twin. Very comfy, very light throttle as you'd expect. This thing is fuel injected, so there's no reason to have a lot of resistance on the throttle. This is about as different from the FZ09 as you can get. The toe shifter sits a bit higher than I'm used to, a little higher than I prefer even, but that's okay. It's the sort of thing that could probably get changed anyway. Self-canceling turn signals, they work pretty well. Like the nice clear gauges, the built-in GPS is a nice touch. I haven't cracked the throttle open very much yet going through neighborhoods, but it's comfy. I could definitely see going on trips and vacations and such on this bike. I mean, that's what it's made for anyway. And all the luggage. My wife would be super comfy on the back of this with the trunk and everything. See, already cruising along at 75, no problem. It's a heavy bike, but no problem hauling it around. It's not intimidating at all, which surprises me for such a heavy bike. It's the dimensions, the riding position. I could tweak the bars a little bit, but don't really need to. It's got a nice rumble, but not too loud. Not like your stereotypical Harley loud pipes. These are obviously stock pipes because it's a stock demo bike. Brakes hold this thing down quite nicely. Pretty powerful, which I suppose you need for such a heavy bike. I do have to get used to the very different Harley turn signals. Instead of the single switch by the left thumb, it's a button on to go left and a button to go right. I almost stalled there. That's just me not being used to this thing. I do like having a tack. Got a much better idea what the bike's up to. Six-speed transmission, but the thing has so much torque, it feels like 5 would be fine. But that's okay. It does have a decently high top gear for highway cruising, which this thing's very good at. Seems very smooth, great at putting down the miles, but I think I might get bored with it in a similar way that I got bored with my Pacific Coast 800. It's a little too insulated. It doesn't shake like the old Harleys. It's a very competent touring bike, no question. I could definitely see myself putting down lots of miles on one of these, but I'm not sure I'd enjoy it as much because it's a little too cushy for my preferences. Great touring bike though. I would definitely consider one of these.
How was it?
Comfy.
Great.
Smooth.
You want the Roadster too?
Say what?
You're gonna take the Roadster out?
I'm gonna try the Roadster as well. You know, something the opposite extremes, you know?
Yeah, I'm with you.